Jeff, at first, I would like to say thank you very much for this interview one-to-one.
Welcome.
We are very proud to do it. Second thing is one consideration that yesterday we have a new winner in Formula E after 6 races, and was the same like in the first season of Formula E in the history, because in the first 3 races there was first 6 different winners like now. So it means that Formula E continue to be an unpredictable racing series as usually.
Yeah. We actually had. Let's see how the appeal process goes. We had 2 first-time winners yesterday, who obviously had started with Antonio Felix da Costa, and as it stands, as we have this interview, that's now Oliver Rowland from Nissan. I think Porsche have logged an appeal, so let's see how that one plays out. But you're right, so we're in our 6th race, 6 winners, and very competitive at the top of the table. So let's see what happens today, Marcelo. We have another race today. We're 50% of the way through the Misano weekend, so I think the second race will be just as spectacular as the first. Let's see what happens.
We see in Formula E in the last year that has been made different partnerships, new partnership. This is the new address for Formula E for the next future.
Misano, you mean? The Misano race?
Not only Misano. In general, in the last year.
And just so I'm clear, you mean venue partnerships, locations?
Yeah.
Look, so I think Formula E, if you go back over the 9 seasons, it's raced in a number of different venues, number of different locations. This year we added 3 new locations. So we added Shanghai, that race hasn't happened yet, at the international circuit there. We added Tokyo, which was just the most fabulous race a couple of weeks ago, and we added here in Misano in Italy, which was a change up from Rome last year. So I think at Formula E we like to preserve the flexibility. We're a growing sport, we're only 9 years old. We like a hard core of locations, so a core of locations that we return to, but we also like the opportunity to bring in new locations as well. So the calendar you have today for season 10, guaranteed will be different for season 11, and guaranteed season 12 will be slightly different to season 11. But I think over time those changes probably get smaller and smaller.
Will be more permanent circuits, or will we keep also the city circuits like the DNA of Formula E?
We'll definitely keep the city circuit, so that's no question. But I do think, last year we had Portland. So if you think about this year, let's think about this year. So we've got Mexico is a permanent circuit. You've got Shanghai as a permanent circuit. You've got here at Misano as a permanent circuit. I may have forgotten some. But then you've got this real mixture of built circuits. So Sao Paulo, Berlin, Tokyo as a built circuit, London at the XL as a built circuit. So we have a real mix. And I think over time we will definitely keep that DNA of Formula E, city circuits and street circuits. But you are going to see permanent circuits within the racing calendar. And part of the reason you'll see that is because the cars are getting faster and faster and faster. So we'll launch Gen 3 Evo next season, then we're only a couple of years away from Gen 4. Those cars are going to be able to race for longer, go faster at the top end, and be much faster accelerating. So there comes a point where some of the circuits that we race on today just won't be able to sustain the car. So we have to find that balance.
Speaking about economy, Formula E as a company, arrive at the point of break-even or not yet?
We don't talk about it. So we're privately owned. So we're privately owned. We have 2 big investors. We have Liberty Global and we have Warner Brothers Discovery and a number of other smaller investors, not publicly listed. So we don't talk about our financials publicly.
There are a lot of people that speak, and also some voices here about this. The futuristic collaboration or fusion, I don't know how can we call, with Formula One. This is a fantastic question, or can be something real?
So right now, today, I think that Formula One and Formula E, very different sports. So Formula One, 75 years old, the pinnacle of single-seater motorsport today, and we're an emerging motorsport. We're only 9 years old, growing incredibly quickly, but we're very young. We know we have an exclusive license to race electric, fully electric, and that's ours. Only we can do that, and we know that electric technology is becoming preeminent. So in the next 10 years, most governments around the world have said you won't be able to buy a new internal combustion engine car in the next 10 years, or 11 years. So There will be a moment in time, Marcelo, where we all sit down and we all look at what the future of motorsport looks like. When that moment comes, it will be interesting, but I think there's a long way ahead of us yet for us to both happily coexist, attracting different fans and putting on equally spectacular events. So it's not something I'm worried about now.
Thank you very much, Jeff, and
You're
it's a
welcome.
pleasure to follow Formula
Always
E
a
around
pleasure
the
to
world.
see you. Enjoy today's race.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.